Hello and welcome back to Technology Review. I am your host, Mac Jackson Jr. You can find me on Facebook at facebook.com// Technology Review TV. Remember to like our show there. Tell a friend. We're also on Twitter, twitter.com/ Mac Jackson Jr. You can find me on YouTube, youtube.com/ Mac Jackson Jr. Remember to share, like, and subscribe to our YouTube channel where you'll find a lot of information, cybersecurity tips, and previous episodes of our show also. You can all go to my website, macjacksonjr.com. But folks, you can also be a subscriber. So you can help support what we're doing here in Technology Review by becoming a subscriber at our Patreon channel, folks. That's patreon.com/ Mac Jackson Jr. Patreon.com / Mac Jackson Jr. And be a supporter of our show. We really would appreciate it. And thank you for all our supporters out there that have helped us out. We are live here in Facebook Live. I'd like to say hello to Brian, Kathleen, Greg, Lewis, Fran. We have Greg Jackson. Yeah, that's my brother. G. Martin, Rolanda. Let's see, Carla and Jeannie. Thank you very much for being part of our live broadcast here at Facebook Live. In this segment, we are talking about tech gadgets and apps you should have on your smart device to give you an extra layer of protection when it comes to cyber criminals and cyber crimes, especially if you're using your device outside of your organization with hotspots. Let's see, the first thing I like to here in this segment we're going to talk about is make sure you do regular backups. So you have your tablet and your laptops, right? And you have a process or procedure every month that you go through doing backups. Now there are automatic backup systems you could utilize. You can back up to the cloud. You can back up to a USB drive with your device. Make sure you have some sort of backup and a secondary backup as well, just in case if data can be lost or stolen within your organization. Also, make sure that you have all of the manufacturer's updates on your tablet or laptop devices, and you take the time to go through the process and update your devices. It's very, very important you stay on top of the new and latest software updates for your devices, because there's lots of different hacking techniques out there. Criminals are always looking for vulnerabilities within an organization, so now manufacturers are making sure that they come up with regular updates to protect your laptops and your desktop devices. So these are just part of the policies within your workplace that you should have set up in your organization. Antivirus software, folks, is very, very important. Would you know, folks, if your smart device has been hacked? And there are a couple of ways that you can possibly tell. I'm not saying this is a guarantee that your device is hacked by some of these options I'm going to give you here, but something to think about. Your smart device or tablet seems to run slower than normal. If your device is taking a long time, it's running very, very, very slow. Not saying that it's hacked, folks, but there's something that's not right with it. I would suggest powering it down and powering it back on and see if that does not if that doesn't change it. If you see any apps on your smart device that you did not download, you may want to take a look at all of your apps and make sure you stay on top of them. I know a lot of us have hundreds of apps in our phone, but make sure you stay on top of your apps. And if you see something on there that you did not install, delete it. Delete it off your phone or your smart device or your tablet. Make sure that you don't have apps on there that you did not put on there before. That could be very, very dangerous as well. If your device starts sending text messages and receiving text messages from people that you did not text in the first place, that could be another telltale sign that there's something going on with your device as well. And your battery seems to be running very hot for a long period of time. If this happens, again, turn your device off, wait for a few minutes, and then turn it back on. That should take care of the problem. If not, and you still have these issues, definitely take your device back into your manufacturer's store and let them know about it, and they may help you with ways to reset your device as well. So those are just some of the things that you can do. But the best thing you can do, the most simplest thing, folks, you could do to protect your information and your data is your password. The password option that we have now, folks, to access our information on the internet or using computers in general is the weakest link. The passwords. And all of us know why. Because we have to have a separate password for every software, website, program system that we utilize in our home and our work. we have to have a different password. Some of us have the same username, use their email address, but that password has to be unique and be different. And a lot of you, that are clients of mine, have taken the passwords and you've written them down on a sheet of paper. You have created a spreadsheet. Even if your password had spreadsheet, you still have those passwords written down in a location that is not encrypted. Now, one of the things that you should be aware of, folks, when you're creating your passwords is if you take a blank piece of paper that's worth nothing and you write on that blank piece of paper a column for the website's URL name, your user ID, and your password, and you list them all down for your safekeeping, you've now taken a piece of paper that's worth nothing to literally a piece of paper now that's turned into currency. Remember we talked about in our first segment how information is the new currency? That information written on a piece of paper now, folks, is worth thousands of dollars to hackers. You may say that your piece of paper is protected because you're always on top of it. It never goes out of your sight, and you lock that piece of paper in a booklet in your drawer. All it takes, folks, is a couple of seconds for someone to walk by your desk with their smartphone, their smart device, and take a picture of that piece of paper on top of your desk. And once that photo is taken, that photo is now worth lots of money to bad guys online. So, what is the remedy, folks? The remedy is to encrypt all of our passwords and user IDs with a software application that can encrypt it for you. Now, this technique that I'm mentioning here is called password management. You need a password management system that can do that. A password management system, how it works, it will integrate within your web browser. Anytime you go to a website, you would have a user ID and a password, and this password management system will encrypt every password for every site that you visit. Now, only thing you have to remember is one user ID and one password. One user ID and one password. A little bit of data for you to remember, but the system will encrypt it for you. What's nice about a password management system is that it can also generate for you new passwords on a schedule. If you want to have a password generated every 60 days or every 90 days, this new password management system can do it for you. Now, there are two that I recommend. One of them is called LastPass.com, spelled LastPass.com. LastPass. With LastPass, you can have as many websites as you visit, and it will encrypt them for you. Now, if you lose your password getting into the system, LastPass doesn't have access to your password. It's all encrypted. So you need to make sure that your main password is being stored. Simple. User ID and a password. And it's using LastPass. The other option for you folks, speaking of passwords, the second one I have for you is called a VPN. When you're using your smart device, your laptop, your tablet, and you're using Wi-Fi from a cafe or a hotel or even someone's home, you need to have a VPN on your smart device. Now, VPN is an application that you can download from your iTunes store or the Android store. You download the VPN. There are a couple of them I recommend. Contact me and I'll give you their information, which ones to use. But with a VPN, virtual private network, what it does, it gives you an extra layer of protection. It redirects your IP address and hides it in a sense where the hackers that may be on board to the Wi-Fi connection you have do not have access to your smart device. Whereas others that are sharing that same network, their information could possibly be exposed. Your information will be protected. That's a VPN, folks, virtual private network. You can find out more about that by contacting me at info@macjacksonjr.com. That's info@macjacksonjr.com, and I will give you my recommendations of a VPN that you could use for your device and why it's important that you have one set up for you. All right, let's see. I also want to say hello to Carla as well. And Sylvia, thank you again for joining us at Facebook Live here. And we also wanted to let you know, to find out more information about my products and services, go to my website at macjacksonjr.com. That's at macjacksonjr.com. And take a look at some of our products and services and consulting information that we can offer you as an individual as well as an organization to provide policies and procedures on cybersecurity awareness for your staff and ways to protect you from fastest growing crime of the 21st century, folks, and that is identity theft and cyber crimes. Also remember to use a VPN and use a password management system to protect your smart device. We'll be right back after these messages.